Let's get an update on the news now with Issue Today and our Monday reporter, Angela Chung. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Sinyan.
It finally feels like we're back to a regular sort of a work week, doesn't it?
Exactly, yes.
At the end of last week, people were still, I think, off. So the roads were kind of clearer than usual as well. And it felt like, it was a bit awkward to go back to work after that long Chuseok holiday. But all things, or all good things, come to an end, unfortunately. And sometimes we have to deal with the aftermath. And one of the aftermath, of course, not only the high number of COVID-19 patients, but unfortunately waste as well. I remember last week, all throughout the week, there were like piles and piles of recyclables packed up. And that, of course, is because of all those gift packages. How was it at your apartment or where you live?
So my husband is actually a little bit obsessed with the recycling.
Oh.
So he can't really see things piling up. So right after we came back from our parents' houses, he was very diligent to deal with it all last week. So
Right.
we were pretty free this weekend.
Well done. But I mean, it really piles up, right? You see it all over and at most
Yes.
apartment complexes as well because they
Definitely.
weren't collecting it as quickly as well.
That's right. So people have much more ways to throw away or recycle after Chuseok holidays when families get together to eat lots of food and exchange gifts. The janitor from my apartment building was particularly busy for the last couple days on the recycling day after the holidays. And it's a very common sight for many areas in Seoul. In Songpagu, more paper and styrofoam boxes were collected during the Chuseok, adding to their workload at the recycling centers. And one staff member from the recycling facility in Gangbuk-gu said they used to have 40 tons of recycling waste, but they had 103 tons on the last day of Chuseok
Yikes.
this year, which is way above their capacity. And this is what happens every week after the big national holidays.
Not only that, of course, but we are ordering in a lot more. We also have more packages delivered as well. So I think more waste has been generated anyways over the past year and a half of living with the pandemic, right?
Yeah, for sure. So experts point out it's impossible to cut the amount of waste under the current policy, but there is a silver lining to this as well. So eco-friendly campaigns are underway to solve this issue in some parts of the country. Mangwon-shidang of Mapogu in Seoul launched a campaign titled Cheer Up Mangwon Market, where customers use empty containers they bring from home instead of plastic disposable products. And Mangwon-shidang was the first to begin such eco-friendly campaign, but now there are 88 stores joined this effort to go green. And one store in Mapogu named Aimeng Sangjam sells its kitchen soap and cosmetic products without any packaging. And still on the weekend, the store is full of customers outside of the store before its opening hour.
Sounds like a great idea and a way to differentiate sort of these traditional markets from big sort of supermarkets, right? And you find these markets in most neighborhoods as well. Mangwon-shidang, very popular with the younger people, right? So hopefully...
Yes, a lot of MZ generations, I think,
Right.
are really cautious and they're reminding themselves of the eco-friendly efforts.
Absolutely. Let's hope that this is one trend that can catch on to other generations and other markets as well.
Yeah.
Moving on to our second item, kind of along the MZ generation and what they like to do. They don't like to use a lot of cash, it seems, right? You too?
Yes, I mean, I started bringing cash recently just because sometimes I need it, but definitely not. And I see a lot of my 동생's, like the younger friends, they don't even carry their wallets anymore these days.
I guess with the sort of whole kind of apprehension to use any sort of contact and with the COVID, it's becoming even more popular and even stores are adopting this like no cash policy, right?
That's right. So more and more convenience stores and franchise coffee shops these days do not take cash, in line with this trend where people prefer paying with QR code or using their mobile simple payment services.
So we know that this is on the rise, this cashless payment. Exactly how much has it risen?
So, according to the Bank of Korea, the size of contact-free payment market is valued at 1 trillion won on average. Contactless payment in the first half of this year increased by 23.4% year on year. Contact-free payment accounts for 41.2%, which is up by 4.3% year on year, whereas only 2.8% of payments were made face-to-face. And even for offline payments, more people used mobile payment systems.
And what kind of services were the most popular?
So, growth in the contact-free payment market have been led by simple payment services including Samsung Pay, Kakao Pay, Naver Pay, and Baemin Pay. The amount of usage for these simple payment services in the first half of this year was worth 559 billion won, up by 12.6% from the same period of last year. Other companies such as GS Pay and 11th Street SK Pay have joined the market in the recent days as well.
So it's definitely a growing trend, already very popular as well. Not everyone, of course, is as comfortable with these mobile or contactless payments. I know a couple of onnis who struggle with it. They still like to go to the bank. They don't do even online banking. And some of our maybe parents and older generation as well, it is a bit difficult for them, isn't it?
That's right. Because it seems the mobile payment services are becoming mainstream, it's more and more important for us to kind of help the elders. At Starbucks, the amount of cash payment decreased from 30% in 2010 to 7% in 2017, and further down to even 1 to 2% in recent years. The number of Starbucks stores that do not take cash surpassed 860 stores, which was around 60% of the total number of stores in Korea. And this year, even 100 more stores were added. Hallis Coffee, a Korean coffee chain, 13% of its total stores do not accept cash, and convenience stores such as Ministop and eMart24 encourage users to use credit or debit card or the mobile cash card.
And our last item, a very quick one about 오징어 game or Squid Game. I think it was like the main greeting that I heard during Chuseok and after Chuseok. Did you watch 오징어 game? Did you watch Squid Game? You watched it?
Yes, I tuned into the show last Friday as
Yes.
well, but then I finished it over the weekend.
Yes. Well, I think because we talked about it, it turned out to be the number one show worldwide on that Flix channel or the
Yes.
platform. It's 66, number one in 66 countries. Everyone's talking
Unbelievable.
about it. But that led to some event, kind of a pop-up sort of event at Itaewon store related to this. You have a story about that?
Yes, in line with the airing of the show Squid Game, Ogem World, I guess the shortened by 오징어 and Game, Ogem World Studio, where the same background sets and games appear in the show, such as Squid, Hopscotch, and 딱지치기, have been replicated at the Itaewon subway station. This was originally installed to advertise the show, but unfortunately, as the show was so popular so quickly, that too many people flocked to this site, so causing the concerns of the COVID-19 infections. So Netflix Korea dismantled the studio on 25th, which was a little earlier than scheduled.
So a little disappointing for fans, but I hear there's a lot of merchandise now available as well. You can get the t-shirts with all the numbers on it as well. Wow, the Squid Game. All right. Thank you very much for those updates, Angela. We'll see you again on Friday.
See you on Friday.
Okay.